But I was groomed to be Goliath because I'm so insecure. I was a monster because that's all I really knew. I was a monster. I see. Goliath, I'm a killer. How could that be a monster?
What was that like?
Your girl comedian Miss Shaquena coming to you loud, live, and in color. Hey my people, welcome back to my channel. Thank my new subscribers for subscribing. Thank you to my old subscribers for sticking around. I appreciate you. If you have not subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all. This is a Shaquena story time. I want to talk about the time somebody set out to take my life, unalive me. I was in school getting my GED, and a lot of y'all may not know or don't know or whatever, but I keep to myself. But this one particular day, this dark-skinned brother walks into the break room, and I noticed him, and you know, I kept watching him for weeks, and something told me to approach him, talk to him. So I did. We got to know each other, writing letters, you know, little notes to each other, you know, just being silly. At the time, I was, what, 21, 22 years old, get my GED, his name was Rayshawn. I'm just gonna say the dude's name because I don't know where he's at now. But anyway, Rayshawn and I hit it off. You know, we would laugh during break time. We wasn't in the same classroom or anything like that. So, I don't know why I called him, but one day I called him to talk to him on the phone for some reason. I don't know. His mom answers the phone. And I say, hey, Miss So-and-so, can I speak to Rayshawn? She said, baby, Rayshawn is on punishment. Now, keep in mind, Rayshawn told me he was 23 years old. I said, punishment? She said, yeah, my son 15 years old. I'm like, you say what now? This, huh? She said, yeah. And if you call my house again, I'm going to have you arrested for talking to my son, because she asked me how old was I. I told her I was 20, 21, maybe 22 at the time. I said, ma'am, your son told me he was 23. She said, baby, my son is 15. He just turned 15. Okay? I said, oh, okay. She said, like I said, don't call my house no more, or I will have you arrested. And in my mind, I'm like, for what? Me and your son ain't having sex or no sexual encounter with each other, so why would you try to have me arrested? I said, okay. Not knowing he's listening to the whole conversation on the other phone in the house. So he decided, because he got mad because I called his house, and his mom answered the phone. I ended up finding out the truth through his mama. His mama called, not even called, she came to the school to talk to I call him the principal, but there was no principal at the school. He was the director of the school. She goes to the office and tells the principal that they have a predator at their school. So she gives my name. He comes to my class, and he calls me to his office. So I goes to the office. He introduces me to the woman, and I guess the woman, well, I know for a fact the woman got mad because the principal wanted to hear my side of the story. And I told the principal, I said, hey, Rayshawn told me he was 23 years old, when in fact, the whole entire time, he was 15. He told a lot of people that he was 23 years old. So a lot of us did not know he was 15. A lot of us thought he was 23 years old. And so, what people don't realize is, I get to know people, especially guys. And a lot of guys take it upon themselves to be my protection, to be my muscle. So, some guys decided to be my protection, be my muscle. So, once I tell my side of the story, the principal tells Rayshawn's mama, said, well, they're not having sex with each other. So you cannot have Shaquena arrested for anything. So they're just talking to each other. And said, your son lied and told everybody that he was 23 years old. Okay? So that's his fault. So she stormed out mad. So I go back to class. But before I go back to class, the principal told me, said, don't say anything else to Rayshawn. Don't have any contact. Don't do anything. I said, yes, sir. And I took his number out of my cell phone. Matter of fact, I didn't even take my number out of his cell phone. I mean, I did not take his number out of my cell phone. I kept it in my cell phone just in case he decides he wants to call me. That way, I know not to answer because I don't answer unknown numbers. So I go back to class, you know, doing whatever. And I'm on break. My neighbors across the street, well, my neighbor across the street has a son. And the son had a brother, a stepbrother. I just know he was his brother. So they end up finding out what was going on. And so the two guys, that's my neighbors, just decides to confront Rayshawn. Rayshawn sat there and lied his black behind off and say that he told me he was 15. And people are overhearing this conversation. And they are saying, no, you lied. You told Shaquena you was 23 years old, not 15. Because if Shaquena had known that you were 15, she wouldn't have never gave you the time of damn day. Okay? So that made him even madder. And so I go back to class. Because, you know, the two guys, they tell me, Shaquena, go ahead and go back to class. And I had maybe 15, 20 minutes before the bell rings, before we had to go back to class on break. So I went on ahead and I got me a soda, got me, you know, whatever. And I drank some of it and I brought it to class and I put it in my book bag. And so, you know, the brother, he went back to class. The other guy, you know, he went back to his class. And I'm in class. Next thing I know, I see Rayshawn pop his head in the classroom. Now, Rayshawn had cornrows going to the back. When I seen Rayshawn, it looked like somebody had tried to take his braids loose on the side. So I didn't know what was going on. When I got home that day, I seen the police at my neighbor across the street's house. So I didn't think anything of it. So when I go back to school the next day, the principal asked me, hey, Shaquena, did you have Rayshawn beat up? I said, no. Why? Said, because he was beat up yesterday. I'm like, no, I went back to class. I said, but he did poke his head inside the classroom. And I seen what it looked like somebody had took his braids loose. So I didn't know. Come to find out, they beat him up in the break room when everybody left. And he got hit in the head with a chair. And they drug him by his head. So that's why his braids was loose. So he came back to school. He brought a gun to school, and it was an old gun. Now, this is what was told to me by one of my protectors. Said he brought a gun to school, and he was going to shoot you with this gun. But what happened was he pulls the gun out, and the gun falls apart because it is just that old. And yeah, he set out to kill me at school. And it got back to both of my brothers that this boy was plotting to kill me. So my brothers, they would go out probably every weekend, every other weekend. And they did not go out for maybe a month. And it got back to authorities. It got back to the principal that this fool was plotting to kill me. He was plotting to have somebody drive him to my home. Now, keep in mind, I've never given this boy my address. He didn't even have my home phone number. He only had my cell phone number, and I wasn't answering that. He wanted to get somebody to drive him to my home and wait down the street or whatever and wait till I come out the house, and he was gonna shoot me in my head. He was going to kill me all because his lie was exposed. And when it got back to the principal at the school, the principal called the authorities, and he was arrested at the school. All because his lie was exposed. And it was his plan to try to get me to have sex with him so that I could go to prison for a statutory rape. Because in Georgia, the age of consent is 16. But if a parent wants to have charges filed, they can. But the age of consent in Georgia, it is 16. And he was 15. And I was 20, maybe 21, 22 years old. And he lied about his age. And once, from what I was told, when he got to jail, people that knew my family, my brothers or whatever, that knew them and knew that he had that they had a sister, they beat the mess out of this child for trying to plot to kill me, all because his lie was exposed. I just don't understand why he hated me that bad, because of a lie that he told, and he wanted to kill me. I just don't understand it. Still to this day, it still bothers me that he plotted to take my life. And I just don't understand what I did so bad that he no longer wanted me breathing. I told y'all this story to tell y'all, be careful of who you giving your time and your energy to, because you never know what's in the mind of people and the lies that they are telling, because people's lies can cost you your life. If you made it to the end of my video, put hashtag Unalive. Let's have a conversation. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Armani Jones Comedy YouTube channel. Watch Laughs and Libations seasons 1 through 4, episodes 1 through 43. We appreciate it. And like I always say, God only gives you one life. Y'all, please live it. Bye, y'all.
But I was groomed to be Goliath because I'm so insecure. I was amongst it because that's all I really knew.